Good, happy Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of your morning news update right here on the Riley King Radio Network. Let's get started right now. First up, fire in Conway still considered active. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
So right now, a fire at a business in Conway is still considered active. It all started around 6:45 tonight at East Conway Beef and Pork on East Conway Road. No injuries have been reported. The state fire marshal's office has an investigator in Conway right now talking with employees, and a team will be sent in the morning to look for a cause.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Governor Sununu signs executive order to reestablish Commission on Domestic Violence. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's never too late, right, to put a commission like this together.
Governor Chris Sununu signed an executive order Monday reforming a commission on domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking.
We're giving the commission a very robust role in terms of providing insight, ideas, new ways of thinking on issues dealing with victim advocacy in domestic and sexual violence, better ways to make sure we're holding offenders accountable, better processes we could have at the state level or within the judicial branch.
This was one of the recommendations from a state judicial branch task force formed after a New Hampshire woman was shot and nearly killed by a man she had tried to get a permanent restraining order against. The 18 members will include legal representatives, law enforcement, and representatives from the New Hampshire Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence.
The group assembled by this commission really is the right group of stakeholders to be, not only improving New Hampshire's statewide response to abuse, but just as important to focus on critical statewide prevention efforts.
But Pamela Kylig with the coalition says response and prevention will require resources, which she hopes the state is serious about providing.
I think this is just a really important step that we're taking as a state.
And experts say each year in New Hampshire there are more than 15,000 cases of domestic violence and sexual assault. In the newsroom, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man accused of deadly shooting of a dog in Manchester apartment denied bail. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Mike and Monica, this affidavit right here details that shooting. It says Marcos Nueves allegedly shot a pit bull. Now, witnesses say that dog tried to crawl away on the kitchen floor, only to be shot 2 to 3 more times. Marcos Nieves, a man with an extensive criminal history, now facing a new slew of charges. They include animal cruelty, being a felon in possession of a deadly weapon, and burglary.
I am going to detain the defendant, and I would do it based just on the 3 times felon in possession, being on federal probation, and having a weapon and using it in city proper.
He was denied bail at Monday's arraignment. The shooting happened back in the end of March on Orange Street in Manchester. When officers got there, they say they found a pit bull dead and 6 shell casings on the floor. They say a man who was in the apartment during the incident jumped out a 2nd-story window, getting seriously injured. Court documents claim witnesses told police Nieves came to the home after they asked him to return money they had lent him. He claims self-defense.
They invite him over. I don't think that's consistent with the burglary. And then they threaten this person with a dog. This is a dog that's growling and advancing on a person.
He's claiming self-defense and he fled. That flight is consciousness of guilt. Not only did he shoot the dog, but he followed the dog as the dog was crawling away and shot it more times in the kitchen.
At today's arraignment, the defense requested for additional evidence to be reviewed. That request was denied. Live in Manchester, Grace Finerman, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Omicron subvariant fuels COVID-19 surge across U.S. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
The new concerns over COVID in this country. Tonight, Philadelphia, the first major city to bring back its indoor mask mandate. What they're seeing there, also in the New York City area, new cases up 54% in just 2 weeks. In fact, cases up in nearly half the country now. And ABC's Eva Pilgrim tonight.
With rapidly rising COVID infections fueled by the BA2 variant, tonight, Philadelphia becoming the first major city to reinstate an indoor mask mandate.
It's my hope that our actions today will slow the spread of COVID and help us avoid seeing our ERs once again get so crowded that people can't get timely care when they need it.
But the reversal on masks leaving many here frustrated.
And I just wish the city would pick one thing and stick to it.
It comes as a wave of infections on college campuses is prompting schools like Columbia, Georgetown, American, and Johns Hopkins universities to bring back masks. And in the nation's capital, the COVID outbreak's still growing. At least 24 lawmakers and administration officials have recently been infected. Several had attended the elite Gridiron dinner, where at least 80 guests have since tested positive, including the mayor of New York. So far, there are no reports of serious illness. President Biden did not attend that dinner, but he was with Nancy Pelosi last week, who then tested positive. Today, Pelosi getting her first negative test, and the president continues to test negative.
Remember, he's fully vaccinated, he's doubly boosted, and most of the time people who get anywhere near him need to be tested. So we feel the protocol is a reasonable protocol.
And territories, hospital admissions up in 11 states, but the data is spotty, and some experts fear the numbers are higher. During the peak of Omicron, 2.6 million Americans were being tested every day. Today, it's just over 500,000.
And I think that we're dramatically undercounting cases. We're probably only picking up 1 in 7 or 1 in 8 infections. So when we say there's 30,000 infections a day, there's probably closer to 250,000 infections a day.
Still, Dr. Ashish Shah, the new White House COVID response coordinator, is encouraged that the reported number of Americans in hospitals is relatively low.
Hospitalizations right now are the lowest they have been in the entire pandemic. I never like to see infections rising. I think we got to be careful, but I don't think this is a moment where we have to be excessively concerned.
Eva Pilgrim back in Philadelphia, a city where she reported for many years, the first major city tonight, Eva, to bring back these mask mandates, along with several universities that you reported on there. Another major question, though, tonight, the TSA, I know they were considering extending this federal mask mandate for planes, buses, trains. That mandate would have gone away next week.
David, that TSA mandate is set to expire next Monday. Health officials are tracking the rising number of COVID cases, and the decision on whether to extend that mask mandate will be made by the CDC director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky. David?
Eva Pilgrim in Philly for us tonight. Eva, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for your morning news update right here on the Riley King Radio Network. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this morning news update. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and goodbye.